Today I'm going to show you from the beginning to the end how the Zojirushi bread maker works. I have the PAC20. I absolutely love this machine, and I have had a couple of other ones and the crust was either too thick or burned or the loaves weren't normal sizes. This is just beautiful. You will see. I will show you everything. This comes with 2 paddles. You just take them off and pop them back in. Then we're going to start. I am going to make the half and half basic bread recipe, and you put it on the basic. It's half wheat, half white flour. That's my family's favorite, but really all the rest, the white bread recipe, the raisin recipe we've tried, we all absolutely love it. But today it's going to be the half and half, and I will show you the recipe at the end. First of all, you're going to need 450 grams of water. So I'm going to put this in here, and you put your liquid in first. Then I add my dry ingredients. So I'm going to add my flour, and I need 2 cups of white flour. And this is just regular white flour. I know some people say bread. This is just your all-purpose unbleached flour that I have in here. Then we're going to move on to the whole wheat flour, and I need 3 cups of the whole wheat flour. Get that all in there. Then I need 2 teaspoons of salt. And I put a teaspoon there. And then gluten, because this binds the wheat. And I need 2 tablespoons of the gluten. Then I need 2 tablespoons of the powdered milk. Now it calls for 3 tablespoons sugar, or if you want, you can always use honey. I like to use the honey instead of sugar, and if it's less than a cup of sugar, you can put the same amount of honey. So this is just 3 tablespoons of sugar, so I'm going to do 3 tablespoons of honey. Whoops. There. Now I'm kind of separate, putting the ingredients on either side, just kind of helping stir. Since there is 2 paddles, I just kind of move the ingredients on either side, kind of split them up. You don't have to, I just do it. Okay, there. Got the honey in there. Wash my hands off. And then 2 tablespoons of butter. And I'm just going to cut this in half, put it on each side. And then you're going to need your yeast. I have the bread machine yeast. You can use quick yeast. They also have a recipe for in there. If you're going to use, I'm going to put 1.5 teaspoons of the bread machine, or its active, fast rising yeast. But if you use the active yeast, it would be 2 teaspoons. But in this recipe for the bread machine, it's 1.5 teaspoons. And I'm just going to put that right in here in the middle. And that's it. And then I'm going to take this over, and I'm going to go put it in the bread machine. Let's see, get that in there. You just push down. It's nice solid. Close the lid. For this recipe, I just need to select coarse, and I'm going to select the basic and regular. You don't need to use the wheat recipe or anything, just the basic regular. And I wanted the medium crust, so it's set on medium, and I just push start. Now after I push start, it shows me my complete time, and right now it is 12:59, almost 1 o'clock. So my complete time, my bread will be done at 4:24. So we will check in on that. Towards the end, I think the last 30 minutes, it'll start showing the time, but we will check in on this once it starts kneading. Right now, it's going to take a little while. It's going to kind of preheat, get things kind of warmed up, and then it will start kneading, and I will show you videos of that. All right, the machine now is starting to knead it, and I'm going to open it up and it will stop. I'm going to see if you can see kind of in there the dough. But I'll open it up, and here it's just starting to do the dough. The machine will stop when you lift the lid up, but it does continue once you close it. It'll restart. Right now it's been kneading for a little while. Let's see, you can kind of see the dough. I'll open it up. It stops here. It is still kneading though. I just wanted to show you what it looked like. And then it'll start up again. And this process will continue for a little while. Now rising for its first rise. I will open it up, just give you a peek. There we go. It will continue to rise, and then it's going to knead again, and then it will rise and bake. All right, now it's rising on its final rise. And what I do is, this looks pretty good, but if it looks a little lopsided, like the dough is more on one side, all you do is I just pat it right down and squish it so it's just even. You don't need to take it out or anything like that and put it back in. Just leave it in the pan and pat it down. It'll come right back up. All right, the bread is done baking. It will stay on the keep warm cycle for a little while, but we're going to take it out. So we're going to open the lid, and this is how the loaf of bread looks. All right, now I'm going to take this out. We'll just cancel, turn the unit off, and it's easy. You just pull up on the handles, and then we're going to bring it over here, and it'll just slide right out of the pan. Just like that. Okay. Then I'm going to, and as you can see, there's the holes. Very little holes. Not big at all. So it's not a big deal when I cut it. Here's the loaf of bread. It's beautiful. It baked up gorgeous. Now I'm going to slice it. It is still warm, but I just wanted to show you just how beautiful the bread looks. There it is, all the steam. So I'm going to just cut another slice here. You can just see how beautiful this crust is. And then also, this is where the mark is for the where the thing was. And you can see the needle doesn't go up, and it really doesn't affect the slices at all. So you don't need to worry about taking the paddles out. But here's your beautiful loaf of bread, and this is the half and half wheat. Now for the pan, what I do is I just put water in the pan and just kind of up to the paddles, so it kind of covers the paddles, and just let it soak for a couple minutes, and then the paddles come right out. You just wipe around, pull the paddles off, and your pan is clean. You're ready to bake another loaf of bread. How the loaf turns out. It's beautiful. It is the size of a regular loaf of bread. And this loaf is this way because I did punch it down on the last rise circle. Not punching down, but just kind of spread the dough out so that it was all flat in the pan. Now here's another bread, and this one is the one that it kind of turned out when you don't punch down the bread. And see how the dough kind of rises on one side? It's just because when it was kneading, one side of the bread had more dough, but then when it rose, it was like that. But still, it's a beautiful loaf of bread. It's doing a beautiful job of browning. Love this bread. This is the loaves of bread. I wanted to show you the bottom before I keep continuing, but those are the holes. Not very big at all. So I wouldn't even worry about the paddles, but it's a golden brown, just a beautiful. And this is the basic white bread. Actually, this is the quick recipe that they have in their book. I'll just cut a slice just to show you how nice this bread just cuts. There you go. It's beautiful. And here's how the indent looks. I mean, nothing like those tall ones where they had a big piece of the bread chunked out. Then to show you a comparison of the bread, here's this, here's the store-bought, your Wonder Bread, and then here's your homemade bread. Just beautiful slice, and it's a perfect slice for making a nice sandwich or whatever you want. Hi, today Today I'm going to show you from the beginning to the end how the Zojirushi bread maker works. I have the PAC20. I absolutely love this machine, and I have had a couple of other ones and the crust was either too thick or burned, or the loaves weren't normal sizes. This is just beautiful. You will see. I will show you everything. This comes with 2 paddles. You just take them off and pop them back in. Then we're gonna start. I am gonna make the half and half basic bread recipe, and you put it on the basic. It's half wheat, half white flour. That's my family's favorite, but really all the rest, the white bread recipe, the raisin recipe we've tried, we all absolutely love it. But today it's gonna be the half and half, and I will show you the recipe at the end. First of all, you're gonna need